The Cannabis Show is for information only. You should always consult with a qualified and licensed physician or other medical care provider.
Welcome to The Cannabis Show. Today we join Kait in her kitchen for some how-to on edibles. We learn about THC and answer your question about oranges and cannabis. All that and more coming up. Looking for pain relief with just a little zip in the morning? Or perhaps give Argyle a try. Also known as Nordal, this strain available through licensed producer Tweed is a child of Afghani and Sensi Star. Sun-grown Argyle has an equal ratio of CBD to THC and is classified as an indica-dominant hybrid, meaning you can expect some calming effects. While the CBD may help melt down any anxiety, stress, and pain, the low THC gives the Argyle strain an extra push to potentially support with focus. The bud has an earthy, citrusy smell to it and has been known to smell like garlic too.
Energy is one of the first things to go when you're feeling sick. So when you're creating edibles, why not incorporate energy sustenance into the recipe? This one is vegan, paleo, no added sugar, and a healthy dose of fats, fibers, and carbs. Dates have fiber, minerals, and vitamins, and they're sweet. I like the medjool dates. They may be a little bit more expensive because they are more labor intensive to grow and harvest, but they're worth it. They're not dry, and they're great for baking and smoothies. Walnuts have omega-3s, minerals, antioxidants, and they have vascular benefits for those with cardiac risk factors. If you want to know more about the benefits of these foods or other foods, you can visit mercola.com. That's MERCOLA.com for really good information. So these date walnut bars, you can make about 3 dozen if you incorporate the following ingredients. You'll need 2 cups of walnuts or other nuts or seeds. I like to add a few hemp hearts into my 2 cups. And then you need a cup of shredded unsweetened coconut, 2 cups of soft medjool dates. Don't forget to pit them. 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, or you can use MCT oil for even faster energy access. You'll need some sea salt with trace minerals, a teaspoon of vanilla and or almond extract. I tend to incorporate both of those for half a teaspoon each. So you use a large food processor. Those are only about $100 actually. They're not as expensive as some people think. They're fitted with an S-blade. So you process the walnuts and the coconut until it's crumbly, then you add in the dates and the coconut oil and the vanilla and the sea salt, and then you process it again until you get kind of a sticky uniform batter, and then you just roll the dough between your hands to form balls. You can arrange them on a baking sheet, line it with parchment paper first. Now this is where you may choose to add your medicinal oils. Probably not before, because then you never know if somebody's going to be eating them that shouldn't be eating them. So basically what I do is I take a little chopstick, I make a hole, don't go through the other side, just make sure that you make about halfway down the actual ball. You'll take your syringe, which should come with your oil, whether it be CBD 1:1 or THC indica, for instance, for sleep. You might take your dose at 0.1 milliliter, whatever you've decided your dose is to be set at. You'll want to take that amount, squeeze it into the ball, close it up, and so that you know that this is a medicated ball, you put a little walnut on it. Ain't that pretty? So you can put those back in the fridge. They should last for about a week in your fridge, or if you put them in the freezer, they'll last even longer.
How's it going? I'm Chris. This is Hart, and we are talking about THC.
Yes.
Maybe the most popular part of the cannabis plant?
Probably. First thing we should maybe mention is THC is a cannabinoid. And cannabinoids are the active ingredient in cannabis. So they're sort of what give cannabis its oomph, its energy, its life, so to speak.
Is it what else gives you maybe that head buzz?
Yeah, well, specifically speaking, THC.
Which stands for actually?
Stands for tetrahydrocannabinol.
Okay.
Actually, it's delta-9 tetrahydro, if we're getting really technical.
Sure.
It is one of the only cannabinoids that actually does produce that sort of powerful psychoactive effect. And sometimes a lot of people get scared off by that. They shouldn't be. There, through the LP system, lots of low THC options, lots of 1-to-1. So that's when we take THC and mix it together with CBD. Lots of options there. So generally speaking, that's going to keep the psychoactive effects low with that CBD in there. And when you have a low dose of THC, it's generally not as anxiety-inducing or anything like that.
Can you get too much THC in you?
I mean, of course, there is. You can certainly have too much THC that could bring on a panic attack or anxiety. You don't want that. As always, we definitely would say, start low, go slow with anything to do with cannabis. But let's, THC is really good medicine, and I don't want people to get scared off by the fact that it is psychoactive. Great for things like ADHD, Alzheimer's, arthritis, autism, fibromyalgia, PTSD, Parkinson's, Tourette's. I mean, the list goes on and on. It's very powerful and good medicine.
Now, how would you get the THC? How do you get it in you?
Many different ways. So licensed producers offer dried cannabis, so you would use a vaporizer for that in that instance, or you could use an oil that has THC in it. So I know Metrum offers what they call their red oil. It is a high THC oil. Then they offer it in a sativa and an indica, so that's kind of nice. So you could certainly use something like that. There's lots of different options.
So you can inhale it, or you can do it like in an oil form, like through the, like you said. Now, when THC though, it goes through the stomach and it goes through the liver. Doesn't that liver sometimes have a little trick, that THC? Make it a little stronger?
It can, certainly. So that's a really good point, Chris. When you're ingesting THC, it's not like when you're inhaling. Certainly inhaling can give you psychoactive effects. But when you ingest THC, it takes a little bit longer, probably an hour and a half to start working. But as you say, once it works its way through the liver, it can be quite strong. So it's a different effect than when you're inhaling it. It can last a lot longer and be a lot more intense. So once again, start low, go slow.
So really, we could wrap this up by saying when using THC properly, it's going to work.
It's great medicine. There's a lot of really good benefits to it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
You can ask us anything on the Cannabis Show, and that's why we have our experts here. We have Hart and Evan. My name is Chris. And today's question comes from Dan, and he says, I find when I get too high, I eat an orange, and that seems to bring me back down. Is that normal, or is that just me? I find when I get high, I eat way too much. But
oranges, bananas, watermelon, pizza. Yeah. No, Dan, that's not the first time I've heard that. Like the whole vitamin C can help to take you down a little bit. I don't know if there's actually any truth to it, but if it's working for you, hey, great. I would probably say use some peppercorns or some CBD if you find you're getting a little bit too much THC and you're getting to that panic stage, for sure.
Okay. Yeah. I've also heard this. It's kind of the opposite. I heard that mangoes actually get you higher.
Yeah, definitely. Myrcene, a terpene found in mangoes, has been said to increase the effects of THC and sort of make those psychoactive effects a little bit more intense. I find as far as making it less intense, I find eating anything really helps sort of level out.
Except maybe mangoes?
Yeah, except maybe mangoes.
Are mangoes in season right now?
Right on.
Well, yeah, anything else to add?
Yeah, that's great. Good. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, well, Dan, I hope that answered your question. If you'd like to ask us a question, you can do so. You can email the Cannabis Show at naturalhealthservices.ca.